Oh, hi, Claudia.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Fabulous. How are you doing today?
Good. We're happy to see you tonight. So we're all feeling a little bit sad that this is our last one.
Well, we have some things to talk about after, Claudia, because we were
Okay.
feeling a little sad about it too. And so
Okay.
we have some options for you that we can
Okay.
talk about
Sounds
because
good.
they've been going
I
so
love it.
well. It's been so fun.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
And we found a little, I don't know if I want to admit this, a little, we found a little cheat way on the video.
Good.
Oh,
What's
So, so we watch it in gym, but the last one was 20 minutes long and we didn't have 20 minutes. So we put it at 1.5 speed. So you're talking a little bit faster, but we put the words on. So if we get a little confused, and it's actually pretty good.
that's funny. I listen to most books on tape that way because my attention span doesn't last that long.
in
So
podcasts?
that
Yeah.
makes me feel better. Yeah. So that was a little full disclosure there, but
That
we're
is not cheating. That's efficient.
okay.
And your brain likes to be efficient, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All
So
right.
Izzy's standing there in black because she's the one that taught me how to do it.
Oh, good call. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. I just didn't know that me and Coach Amy, or I guess Coach
There's
Stacy's in it.
Izzy.
I didn't know I could talk any faster.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd want to put me on 1.5 speed because that'd be like double speed for you guys, or 3 times, I don't know, 5 times speed. All right. Okay, you guys, you ready? We have a half hour. Let's do this. I'm so excited. Allie, you want me to take it over, or you want to? Is it
Go
okay if I-
ahead and then I'll show them what's next and I'll chime in if I need to.
Sweet. Okay, so you guys have watched the video about crafting a new model. And crafting is where you actually create the dreams that you want. Instead of just finding out what you're doing and why you're doing it, now we're going to intentionally choose what we want the results to be. So that's what you guys were supposed to learn from this week's video. It's called an intentional model. And Allie, you'll take care of any techie things on the back end. You good with that?
Yep. And I got the chat up so I can answer any chat things. So
Okay, so yeah, if you guys have questions, Allie will take care of any questions. So a couple of things. When you are stuck, when you're frustrated, when you're feeling something that's just not getting fixed, that's when we want you to use the unintentional models, when you're using the CTFAR, right? The CTFAR is when we're like, I have no idea why I'm not sticking the skill, or why I'm not catching that release, or why I'm struggling on this after I've already known how to do it for so long. And when people say they've lost a skill, I'm like, let's go find it. But you use an unintentional model, CTFAR, to figure out what's going on. That's what I like to say. Once you know what's going on, once you understand why you're doing what you're doing and what's causing it, which is always our stories, our thoughts, and then the fuel that's fueling those actions are always your emotions, your feelings. Once you understand that, then we can start shifting into an intentional model. Okay. And the intentional models, what we like to say are, I like to call them unicorn models or fairy tale land models. We like to get to that spot. But before we get to the Olympic level models, what we want to do is we want to just start slowly getting there. That's what I would say. But tonight, just for fun, we're going to go straight to the fairy tale land models for fun. Okay. The way we do that is we use the exact same lines, CTFAR, we just rearrange them to be CRAFT. So craft, we're going to craft something new for ourselves. Let's see, Annalise, tell me what a C stands for.
Circumstance.
Beautiful. So tell me if this is a circumstance. I have brown hair.
Yes.
Yeah, good job. Nice. All right, Drew, what's the R line? If we're crafting a new model, what do we put in the R line? I'm going to call on you guys. Be ready. 5, 4, 3. Oh, good job.
Result?
What is it? The result? Is that what you said?
yeah.
Beautiful. Drew, good job. Okay. So we have our circumstance, what we want, and the result that we want. So we have a skill. Everybody should have a notebook, and we're going to be practicing the tool that you guys just learned about and answering any questions that you might have about how to craft a model. But I want to show you how I craft models. So you can kind of get an idea of what I do. And Allie will jump in and tell you what she does if you have questions for Allie. So we put this circumstance in. Let's just say everybody put in your circumstance line a skill. The result we want from that skill is what? If we're doing a fairy tale land, a unicorn model, we're going to put something in the R line that just seems like it's a little bit of a far stretch. Okay, yeah, go grab a piece of paper. Good job. Claudia, would you pick somebody on here for me to use as an example?
Colby,
Kobe?
unmute Colby.
Kobe, you're going to be I was going to say victim. You're going to be my star sharer.
Okay,
Right.
I'm here.
All right, Kobe, we want to use this skill that you're working on as an example, and everybody should be following along. Even coaches, please pick something that you're trying to get a result for you. It doesn't have to be, as far as sports goes, doesn't have to be that. You guys, let me tell you something. A lot of times when we are having hard days in gym, it has nothing to do with gymnastics. A lot of times it's because you didn't do well on a test, or you struggled with a conversation with your parents, or you lost your dog, or there's things outside of gymnastics. Please use these models for other things too, not just for your sports. Now, for this purpose today, we're all going to pick a skill if you're a gymnast, okay? Coaches, please just go through this with something that you're struggling with. And we want to put in the C line what the skill is, in the R line, what's the result you want of that skill? What would be a fairy tale land result, a unicorn result? Okay, so Colby, can you tell us a skill that you're working on?
A giant.
Giant, love giants, so fun, yeah. So tell me where are you at? What's your current model with your giant? What's the result that you have currently?
I can do it, but I'm just struggling on making it
Making it. Why do you think that is?
because I'm not tapping in the right place.
Oh, why aren't you tapping in the right place?
I don't know.
Oh, what if we did know, just for fun? Let's just pretend we know exactly why we're not tapping in the right place. Just tell me what you think could be going on.
I'm not making the right shapes.
Okay, and why do you not want to make the right shapes?
Then
What happens if you make the right shapes?
I make it
Yeah, and why don't you want to make it?
because I'm scared.
Exactly. Good job. So usually when there's a skill, the nice thing is we can be honest with ourselves instead of I don't know, which is a way of just for our brain to be efficient and not have to use a lot of energy. We all do that. Once we're very, very honest with ourselves, then we can do something with it. But if we just stay with I don't know, there's no solutions there. So let's just pretend we do know, and it's usually about safety. And so let's just figure out how to make it feel more safe. Does that sound fun, Colby?
Yeah.
Okay, so your current model is for the CTFAR is circumstance would be giant. The result is that you're not making it over. Is that right?
Yeah.
You're feeling the F line is that you feel unsafe. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, but mostly frustrated.
Okay, we can go with frustrated. When you're frustrated on a giant, what do you do? Tell me about how you do your giant.
I usually just get mad at myself.
Yeah. And how does getting mad at yourself look when you're doing your shaping for tapping?
It doesn't help.
Usually makes it a little more tense and a little shorter tap and not very good rhythm. Yeah. Makes it a little harder to get over the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me why you feel frustrated. What is it about your giant that's causing you to feel frustrated?
That I'm not making it.
Okay. So in the thought line, in the T line, it would be, I'm not making it. Okay. So we're going to hold on to that. That's just the model currently. Now we're going to shift over and we're going to craft a new model with your giant. Okay, Colby? Everybody
Okay.
should be practicing with their own skill. Did you notice I just filled out a CTFAR with Colby? We have the skill, giant. Our thought is, I'm not making it. The feeling is frustrated. The action, if you look at actions from frustration for you personally, it's probably tense, probably not great rhythm, probably cutting things short, things like that. And then you're not going to get the result. So the thought is proved in the result of I'm not making it. It makes it harder to make the skill when you're doing those kind of actions. Everybody clear on that? Yeah, that was last week's. Now we're going to take the same C. We're not going to change the C. What's the C, Colby? What's the circumstance?
My giant.
Yeah, so we put that in the C line. Now we're going to choose our result. Now this is the power part. What is the result you want, Colby?
That I'm gonna make it.
Okay, that you make it over every time, right? If we wanted to do a unicorn model, it wouldn't just be I'm gonna make it. We're gonna be like, oh, I make it over every time. How about that? Just for fun.
Hmm.
Okay, this is what I need everybody to check in for yourself. The way you know that R line is gonna sit well, that's gonna have some traction, is you ask yourself, do I have a little bit of belief that that could be true for me? Colby, do you believe somewhere inside of you that it's possible that you could start doing giants at some point over the bar every time safely?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you do believe, if you have some belief that cool outcome could be true for you, then we can work. If you have no belief that that's something you're ever going to do, we don't want to put it in the R line. That's not a unicorn model we want. I'm not going to put in the unicorn model that I'm going to fly. That I'm just going to sit here and fly off my chair by flapping my hands. I don't believe that's going to work for me. Maybe if I truly believed it, maybe it would work. But for me, I don't have that belief inside of me. I'm not going to put that I'm going to go be on the NBA team of some basketball team. I don't believe that's what my body wants to do. I don't believe it's what I want to do either. But you need to have some belief inside of you, whatever you put in the R line, because people always say, put whatever you want. You believe it, you're going to achieve it. If you don't have that little belief, don't put it in the R line. Everybody understand? That's the first little check when you're crafting a new model. Okay, so what's the next line, Colby? If we're crafting a new model, we have our C, the skill, giant. We have a result that we're going to make it over on a giant every time. Are you okay putting that on?
Hmm.
You move spots on my screen, so I'm looking someplace else. Okay, so we have a belief there. Now we have 3 more lines. This is just math, you guys, just math. What I like to do is I like to initially, oftentimes, I guess I should say, start with the feeling line, the F line. Everything everybody wants is a feeling. We think we want that giant, but what do you feel if you have that giant? How do you feel if you believe you can do that giant?
Accomplished.
Yeah, we all actually are seeking feelings. So let's go ahead and let's imagine if you had that giant every single time, Colby, over the bar, you said you would feel accomplished. Is that right?
Yeah.
Would everybody put down in their F line, if you already had this goal, if you already mastered this result, this fairyland type result, this la la land result, what do you believe you'd be feeling right now? If it was an easy skill, if giants are like nothing, they're like doing handstands and forward rolls, how would you be feeling, whatever your skill is right now? And we're going to practice feeling it right now, because that is what we call an emotional driver. That emotion is going to drive us to get the results we want. Okay. All right. Everybody ready? Does everybody have an emotion, a feeling? Sorry, I switch feelings and emotions. I switch those words, but they're the same thing. It's your fuel. Emotions are energy in motion. It's all you guys have heard coaches be like, let's pick up the energy. That is the feeling line. Okay. All right. So everybody sit still for a sec after you've written down what the feeling is that you expect to have once you've mastered this goal, this result line. All right, we skipped the A line. Everybody should just skip the A line. We're at the F line. All right, close your eyes. We're going to practice this feeling. Everybody ready? Close your eyes. I like to get to a neutral space before I practice whatever emotion is that I want to work with. And the way I get to a neutral space is I breathe in 3 times. And when I breathe in, I do 3 things. I try to feel the breath going in my nose, all the way down my gut, expanding my stomach. And then I see it, or I feel it breathing out. But I feel the breath coming in. I hear the breath, meaning you can hear yourself taking a breath. And we're also going to pretend we can see the oxygen going into our nose and down our body and expanding and then coming back out 3 times. Now, as you do that, I can see everybody doing that. Instead of lifting your shoulders, I want you to expand your gut area. So have the breath go all the way down as far as you can, expand the gut, and then breathe out. As you do that, you don't have to be aware of this, but at the subconscious level, when you take a breath where you're seeing the breath, you're feeling the breath, you're hearing the breath, your heart rate naturally starts to slow down. It starts to stabilize. And you may notice your forehead relaxing. You may notice your shoulders dropping a little bit. You may notice everything calming down. That is the purpose of using your hearing, your visual, and your feeling when you're breathing. It focuses your mind on something that helps your body calm down. You don't have to be aware of it. It just happens naturally. All right, once you've taken those 3 breaths, keep your eyes closed. And I want you to think about the last memory, the last moment when you remember feeling whatever that feeling is that you just wrote down on your paper. When was the last time you worked hard for something and you conquered it, and you mastered it, and you felt, for Colby, that would be accomplished. Maybe for somebody else, it's ecstatic. Maybe it's enough. Maybe you feel satisfied. Maybe you feel thrilled. Whatever that emotion is, I want you to think of the last memory that you can think of where you felt that way, and think of the memory. Just focus on the memory for a moment. What was going on? Maybe it was another skill you'd worked on. Maybe it's something completely different, and you felt this way. See if you can see anybody in that memory. See if you can hear anything. Maybe there was some background music. Maybe you were, working really hard and you felt super sweaty from working hard from the summertime workout. Just think about that memory. While you think of that memory, when you felt this way, you're going to notice that feeling just come naturally inside of you. That's what happens. When you focus on thoughts, your body releases chemicals and they move, and that's what we call feelings. So you're going to feel that accomplished feeling. You're going to feel that excited feeling, whatever that feeling is. And I want you to just feel that feeling, whatever the feeling is that you wrote down. The way you find it is thinking of a former memory, and sit with that emotion. Just breathe into it. I want you to follow it and find a location in your body where you feel that the most. Sometimes it moves around, but just pick a location in your body. It could be anywhere. There's no right or wrong answers here. It could be in your fingertips. It could be in your shoulders. Where you feel most of this emotion inside of you, give it a location. And then when you find that location, attach a color to it. When I think of happy, maybe I feel it in my heart, maybe it's kind of a yellow color, whatever it is for you. When I feel accomplished, where do you feel that inside of you? And give it a color. Now, when you give it a color, the reason why we do this is a specific reason. It helps you find it again quickly. It's an NLP tip, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It helps you find it fast. And we want to find this feeling. We want to get comfortable. Once you've found the location, given it a color, I want you to take a deep breath and just relax into this emotion. Feel that accomplished feeling, Colby, and everybody feel that feeling that you choose. And just notice it and enjoy it, because this is the feeling that we're going for with these skills. Take one more deep breath. In, hear it, see it, feel it, and out. And then open your eyes. So I had you check in on the thought, the result, right? That you believe that you can have that result. I had you check in on the emotion. Do you guys all like the emotion you picked? Does it feel like the emotion that you plan to feel when you get that skill? At the unicorn level, this is your intentional model. You're planning what you want to feel at the end of this, pre-planning. If you like it, keep it there. If you want to change it, change it. But we just practiced the feeling. Now we've filled out 3 lines. Marguerite, what are the 2 lines left that we have to fill out for an intentional model? Are you there, Margaret?
A and T.
A and T. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we have a result. We have a feeling. What our question is about the A line is, what do we have to do to get that result? If I feel accomplished, what am I willing to do because of all this fuel from feeling accomplished? What do we have to do? Now, Colby, I'm going to work with Colby on what she will have to do. And everybody follow this step by step. This is how I like to do the A line. So I know the feeling. I'm going to feel accomplished. When I feel accomplished, I have to do some things with that energy to get the result we want. Colby, you ready?
Yeah.
The result we want is to go over the bar every single time on Giants, yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody write down in a different space on the notepad, whatever that result is, and I want you to write 10 things that you believe you have to do to get that result. So Colby, I want you to write 10 things that you believe you have to do to get over the bar every time on your Giant. Take a minute. Whatever the thing is that you want, the result you want. We're working on the A line now. A line can be really fat and big and have lots of stuff in it, whether it's unintentional or intentional. Maybe on the, and I'll just throw out things, Colby, but don't go with my words. I'm just throwing things out for everybody. If I was going to do a Giant and my goal is to get over every time. Hey, Allie, why don't you throw some things out? Tell us a few things that you think that you would have to do.
I think I'd have to hit my handstand to start. I think I'd have to get my toes down. I'd have to hold my tap. I'd have to have a strong tap, pull my toes over the bar, shift my wrists. Those are all things. Giants were hard for me, so I had to think about a lot of things during that time.
Here's the thing, what just happened with Allie, which I love that she stopped at about 4 or 5. Everybody's brain is going to do about half of what we ask. That's what our brains do. We're like, we want to be efficient. That's enough. I mean, if I do that, I'm good. I want you to remind your brain that from the head to the toe on a Giant, on any skill, there's a lot of things happening. So Allie gave us about 4 or 5, and then she kind of petered off. Yeah, Allie, good job. That was perfect. It's almost like I asked you to do that. But everybody should feel like around 4 or 5, you're like, all right, that's probably enough. No, I want you to write 10, and you're all capable of writing 10 things down that you think if you were going to master the skill, what would you have to be doing? Think about where your ankles are, where your feet are, where your armpits are, where your head is, where your eyes are, where your hands are. Think about your body alignment. Think about the muscles you're using at every single angle, going from the handstand, even to get up to the handstand. Like Allie says, she has to get a locked handstand. That's going to give her the power to get over on the bar. That's for Allie, right? So everybody has their own thing. Write 10 things down. And then I want you to take one of those and circle it. And you're going to take that one thing you circled. Now, here's the thing. The truth is they're all important. Our brain thinks they're important. We wrote them down, but we only focus on one thought at a time. So we're also going to focus on one of the thoughts that we have about what we need to do. Take that and put it in a different spot down below. So Allie, tell me one thing of those 4 things you told us that you think would be extra important for you to get that Giant every time.
Toes down.
Toes down. Okay, so Allie would circle toes down and she'd write it below. We're in the A line still, guys. She has A line down. Now here's her thing. She has her toes down. That's what she needs to do. Allie, can you give me 3 things you have to do to keep your toes down at the way that your brain thinks will help you? Because your brain's different from my brain. I don't know what toes down means for me or for her. For me, it would be like at a certain angle. Maybe her toes are straight down. Who knows? I'm not in Allie's brain. What does that mean for you, Allie? Give me 3 things so that you know your toes are pointing down the way you want them to point down.
Pushing through my shoulders, pulling my ribs in, and looking at the low bar.
Beautiful. 3 things. And then you guys listen, I'm just going to kind of run through this. After she picks 3 things to make it so her toes are down, I'll say which one of those is going to help you get your toes down. Pushing through your shoulders, looking at the low bar, which one will make sure you get your toes down? That your brain will be like, yep, my toes are going to be down.
I'm going to look at the low bar.
Okay, so Allie's going to look at the low bar. When Allie looks at the low bar, then her brain's like, that means my toes are pointing down. If my toes are pointing down, it's more likely that I'm going to get this Giant over. It's just a domino effect. So now we're going to look at the low bar. Allie, is it hard for you to look at the low bar? No. Okay, you guys, this is the key. If you break down your skill small enough, we just did a call with another team a couple hours ago. And one girl said, all you have to do is push through your fear. I said, oh, no. On the A line, if you do this correctly, you're not going to push through fear. We don't want to. Who wants to push through fear? I don't want to push through fear. That sounds terrible. We're going to break this down enough where our brain's like, well, yeah, I can look at the low bar. That's easy. Well, yeah, I can swing my arms back fast. That's easy. Well, yeah, I can push through my big right toe. That's easy. I was telling on this other group, I was telling them that I missed one series at one competition in 5 years from my high school through college. And that was because I knew that if I pushed through my right big toe, literally, if I pushed through my right big toe, it would push off my legs. I used to bend my front leg on my back handspring. It would push my leg straight, which if my leg was straight, then I was kicking over the top. If I was over the top, then it was easier to set up for the second back handspring or the second layout. And then when everything lined up really well, all I had to think about was my right big toe. Because I broke down the skill small enough to the point where I'm like, well, I can do that. Allie can look at the low bar. And her brain says if she looks at the low bar, then her feet are pointing down. And if her feet are pointing down, then it's going to be easier for her to get over on the giant. Who knew? I wouldn't be able to tell Allie that. I'm a coach who can help her get ready for those things. And then if you really want to start learning how to get some skills a little quicker, help the coaches out. They didn't know that Allie would have to look at the low bar. They just know that she's got to learn the positioning and she's got to learn the foundation and she's got to get the strength so that they can help her be safe when she figures out what her body needs to do. Everybody should break down your skill to the point where you know you're willing to do that little thing every time. You don't have to worry about the big skill. You just focus on the little thing that's easy and everything else naturally happens. Everybody understand what I'm saying? And it works 100% of the time, guys. If you do this correctly. If you only break it down to where you're like, if you don't go for something, then you didn't break it down small enough. Your brain's still like, that's too big. Break it down smaller. What are you willing to do that's going to help the skill? Okay. All right. So that's the A line. Super easy. Well, Allie's willing to look at the low bar. So we had the A line. Colby, I'm not sure what you chose on yours, but we just threw out some things. Don't go by what we say because I'm not in your body, but you are. All right. So we have the A line. We have one more line. Beth, what do you think we need to do next? What's the last line if you're following along? Just calling on somebody, making sure you're all awake. All right. Let's get Jen. Jen, you want to give us an answer? Oh, did she say it?
I was going to say pick Izzy or
Izzy.
Jen. Jen is fine. I think you picked a coach.
Okay, Izzy, go ahead and tell us, what do we have to do? What's the last step?
We haven't done thought yet.
Okay, so what kind of thoughts would help us feel accomplished?
Oh, me?
Yeah, go for it. Tell us a couple of thoughts that would help us feel accomplished.
Well, like saying stuff like you got this or trust yourself.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to give you guys, thank you, Izzy. I'm going to give you guys a couple more things that I do. Sometimes that works for me, sometimes it doesn't. When I'm really, really like ready to go, then you got this is not a big deal. When I'm still a little bit like, I think I got this, then we might want to try a few other things. One of the things I like to do is take whatever thought I have in the unintentional model. What was the thought we had, Colby, in the unintentional model that we circled, that we focused on? Do you guys remember what her thought was?
I
Colby,
am
what-
not making it.
I'm not making it.
Yep.
Okay, so you take whatever that thought was that you circled, because you only work with one thought at a time. You put it over in the intentional model at first. Now we're just going to kind of play with this a little bit. And what I do is I start the intentional model with it's possible, and then I flip whatever that thought is. So it's possible that I am making it. Allie, how come that could be true for Colby right now? How is it possible that she could be making this giant right now when she's saying she's not making it?
Because she knows exactly what she needs to do to make it.
I agree. When I was asking you questions, you knew exactly what you need to do. You also knew why you weren't doing it. Isn't that interesting? So it's possible that you actually are making it. You're just choosing right now not to do the couple little things to finish it up. But it's possible that you can make it over every time. It's possible that you actually want to make it over every time. It's possible that you're figuring it out. Do you see how I just kind of flipped that unintentional model? I just said it's possible, and then I just started flipping it, just flipping that phrase to different things. That's one of my favorite ways to get to my big model. Okay. So if I say, hey, it's possible that you actually are making it because you know exactly what to do. That's what I heard when you were telling me at the beginning. You kind of know, you know what's going on, you know what to do, which is beautiful. Holy cow, that's amazing. And then we just shift to some other things where we go, what is it? This is another tip, you guys. I'm just giving you little tips with these models. I like to switch out the C line for a moment. The C line is a giant. Colby, tell me a skill that you love to do. that you would just do any day if your coach is like, go do 10,000 of this one? You'd be like,
Jumps or leap.
leaps. Okay, what kind of leap?
Switch leap.
Okay, why do you like switch leaps?
Because I'm good at them.
Oh, beautiful. So I like to switch the C line to a skill that I've already mastered that I love. And then I just see what thoughts do I have about that skill. And I just try to, just for fun, just pretend that that could be my storyline in my intentional model. So they're fun. I'm good at them. Giants are actually maybe fun for some people. Do you think giants are fun for some people, Colby?
Yeah.
And if they're fun for some people, do you believe that it's possible that they could be fun for you too, eventually?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay. And another thought you had about the switch, I think you said, was that you can do them, like they're easy. Is that kind of what I heard, or no?
She's
might
good
have-
at them.
You're good at them. Okay. Do you believe that other people are good at giants?
Yeah.
You think you could be good at giants?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you believe that you were good at giants, would you feel pretty accomplished on giants?
Yes.
And if you felt accomplished on giants and you were Allie, would you be willing to look at the low bar going into your giant?
Mm-hmm.
And if looking at the low bar helped you put your feet where you want them to be, and your brain thought that if you put your feet down, then you could get over the bar better, would you be willing to do that?
Yeah.
And then what would happen if you did that? What do you think the result would be?
I would make it.
Oh, that's the way crafting a model works, you guys. Does that make sense? Kind of fun. Now, here's what you should be feeling if you did this right. You should feel a little curiosity right now as you're looking at your model, and a little bit of energy like, I wonder if this is going to work for me. I wonder if it's possible that if I break it down, that I could figure out this skill. And if you feel a little curiosity, then you've done it right, because that's going to get you wanting to try something. Does that make sense, everybody? The more you try something, the more you'll understand what does and doesn't work for you. All right. It's amazing how these coaches give you all these amazing things. At the end of the day, the more you kind of feel what you want to feel inside, all the coaches' information is going to help you figure it out. Use the information they've given you, and then really feel what it is that your body needs to do what they're saying. How are you going to get over? Well, they're telling me I need to tap a little bit harder. How am I going to tap a little harder? Well, maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to do this. Write down 10 things and then pick one. Our brain can only focus on one thought at a time. Pick one. Okay, don't go, I'm going to go harder. Do not ever say that phrase. When you hear your brain say, I'm just going to go harder, go, whoa, 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 brain. That's a good idea, but let's figure out what that even means. That means I'm going to look at the low bar. Okay, I can do that. Got it. Got it, you guys? Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions?
I just wanted to point out too, a lot of times we like to focus on the result that our coach is asking us to do rather than what they're actually asking us to do. And when we're focusing on the result, what kind of actions do you think you're going to take? Amy, what do you think?
When I focus on results of somebody else that somebody else wants, sometimes I'm afraid of disappointing them. So I get a little bit rushed or tense or nervous, or I don't like having to perform for other people. I like to feel good about what I do. So if I'm trying to do something for somebody else, sometimes I get a little desperate, and then I beat myself up when I'm not getting the results that they want me to get. So thanks, Allie. Keep going though.
So I just wanted to point out too, so like, okay, let's say your coach is giving you a correction to help you get the result that you want. Focus in on the actual correction and what you need to do in the correction rather than the result that it's going to come. So it was really the same thing Coach Amy's been saying. I just like to point that out because sometimes we're like, we are thinking about it, but really you're just thinking about, I just have to make it over rather than the 10 things that you've written down that help you make it over.
That's
I
a
love
really
that,
good
Allie.
point.
Yeah. The action, what they're telling, and they're giving you action lines, A lines all the time. That's what coaches do. Hey, try this. Hey, try this. What do you think about this, guys? Let's try this one. Break it down so it fits for you. Take their action and then break it down so you can make it make sense for your body. I love it. Okay, coaches, anybody else have any questions? Does that help a little bit?
That was fabulous. Other coaches, you guys? Kim?
Okay.
Kayla?
Allie, go ahead.
think about them. If you don't, I'm just going to show you real quick where you're going next, because this was the last Mindset 101. And now we're switching to weekly workouts. So that is going to be on your, let me share my screen to hopefully make this simple for you. Okay, so you all can get into the actual course. This is our weekly workout. It is going to be the big one front and center on your page, so you can't miss it. Okay, and it changes every week. When you click on it, I already have it loaded, so we don't have to waste time. You're going to have whatever that week's weekly workout is. It posts at midnight, I believe, like Sunday to Monday, like that midnight time, every week. And then there's a worksheet to download right underneath it. And that is going to be your weekly work now. It's similar to what you have been doing now, except for they're shorter videos. They're closer to 5 minutes. And it's going to be, this month is all about time management. Each month has its own topic, and you learn how to use these tools, the CTFAR, an unintentional model, and creating intentional models in all aspects of life. Anything that you would like to apply this model to, you can apply the model to, and we just take you through many different scenarios so you can practice using the model in different ways to help yourself out. And so that is going to be your next focus. There are other things in this dashboard, but I honestly don't want to go into all of that yet. I just want to get you started on this weekly workout and do this for a few weeks and keep you focused on that. And then from there, we're going to keep guiding you through what other things you have available, because like I said, there's some mini trainings and some courses and some other stuff. So
Another workbook, Ellie, a new workbook. These are new worksheets.
Yep. So these are new worksheets, and I actually have it on my to-do list. Right now we have them all individual, and I saw that on my task list was to put it in one booklet for you guys and send it to you. So I'm going to be getting that done in the next day or two so that it's much simpler, because we found out through this last time that a workbook is easier than week by week pages for you guys. So,
And this literally doesn't take more between the recording and doing the worksheet. Shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. Like that's it. So you should be able to get this every week really quick.
in the app, I'm going to pin it. I'm going to put this recording, and then I'm going to pin the login at the top of the page. So you're going to have to log in one time, and then you have to press remember me, and then it'll remember you for 2 months. And you shouldn't have to re-log in after that. So you should be able to get to it on the app as well, not just on the computer, but it's going to be through the website. It's not its own app page yet.
Okay, so wait, I just got confused. So we should be doing it. Are you confused too, Kim? You're looking, yeah.
Oh, I'm so
Are we
sorry.
supposed to be- Okay, are we supposed to be doing it on the computer or the app? Or both?
We'll just say you can do it either through the app. Just takes you to the website. It's just,
Okay. so
if
we
it's
can do
more
it on the
simple,
computer.
yeah, you do it on the computer,
Okay.
but some of you like to use your phones more than you like to get on a computer. So it's just an easy way to get to the information, but it's going to be on the computer.
Okay.
So, sorry, I know that can get complicated there.
all
Any
right.
other questions? That was a great, so I'm going to get a workbook to you, Claudia, and me and you are going to,
Okay.
we can touch base. I don't know if you want to do that right after, or if you want
Yeah,
to,
sure.
okay, do
Yeah,
that later.
if my
and-
coaches want to stay on, they can.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Amina, do you have a question?
I do.
Oh, what's up?
So how do I find, at practice the other day, we watched like the original video, and then Claudia said there's another video on the side that's like about like 8 minutes. Where can I find that? Cause I was having, is it like
She's
just,
talking about the second one of the one we just did week 4. So that was the week 4 videos.
Oh,
And there was like a second video of week 4 that was a short one.
that was just what's next.
Yeah, and it was just telling about what's coming up next. So it's okay.
okay.
So, yep. Thanks for asking, but it's basically what I just told you, to get on and watch the weekly workups
Okay.
next. Perfect. Any other questions?
Will we still have weekly meetings on Wednesday?
That is what I'm going to talk to Coach Claudia about after this.
You guys are really proud of you. Good job working on these.
Yeah, Izzy?
So I just opened it, the weekly workouts, they're like not in order. So did you say we start with the time management one?
They're not in order.
Like, so when you open the weekly workouts, the first one is like February, master your goals.
Yeah, so you're gonna go to the left and you'll go to August. You'll follow whatever month we're in. On the dashboard page, it pulls up the one that we're actually in the week. If you go into the actual module, you'll just have to go to here. I can show everybody what she's talking about if that will be helpful.
Izzy, your job is to figure it out.
And then help us.
That's why she's doing it now, because she knows I'm gonna be like, okay, Izzy, how do we do this?
Send help.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I got a lot of pages up here. Weekly workout. So when she clicks on this,
Okay, believe is spelled wrong, but I'm just saying.
where?
On the
Oh,
very
down
bottom.
here. It is. That would be awesome.
Oh,
Actually,
the live.
Be
I was like,
live.
is that supposed to say believe or believe?
Be live, girl, be live.
That's
Claudia, we
so
were just trying
funny.
to see who noticed all the details.
I'm just in my editing mode because this is what I've been doing. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I see what you're saying. I will add the month in front of all these
Okay.
because it just says
Oh.
the name. So I'll just add the month so you know exactly. So when she's in this course, like if she gets into the course, it looks confusing. But I'll make sure that they're named the month rather than the actual title, and then you'll know exactly where to be.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
That was a great question. Thank you for that.
was. Izzy, what else do we need to do?
Yeah, Izzy, I think that we need to have a weekly call too.
Yeah, that was all I had. Otherwise, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. So let me add that to my notes too. Well, you guys have been amazing.
Well, this
And
was great. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Thanks for participating, you guys. We love having you on here, and hopefully we'll get to be seeing you a lot more, okay?
Yep.
I
All
bet, guys,
right,
you guys
so
use
I'm
it.
gonna
Use the
stay
tools.
on, and if any of my coaches need to stay on, you can.
Yep.
Perfect.